Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Hey guys, I hope you're doing really well in this moment in time on the planet we happen to be currently inhabiting. Regardless of what dimension you are in, something that's always important is forgiveness. We've been talking quite a bit about this for a while now, especially as we go through A Course in Miracles. Sure talks a lot about forgiveness. In fact, on my Instagram, I just made a post about this. Really and truly, forgiving yourself and others is the key to inner happiness, because if you're not forgiving yourself for your past, you're not able to move forward. And if you're not able to forgive other people, not that they deserve it, but you don't forgive other people because they deserve it. You forgive other people because it helps you to move on, right? Some people don't really deserve it, right? Like, it just seems that way anyway. And some people do deserve forgiveness. Sometimes people make mistakes, and sometimes people do things on purpose to hurt you. So depending on the intention of the other person. But the key to inner peace and a greater spiritual understanding is to forgive yourself and to forgive others. So if you are hurt by somebody who truly did not mean to hurt you, and circumstances happen, things happen, then forgive them, because hey, you've made mistakes too. So have I. Everybody makes mistakes. You can't live on planet Earth without making mistakes. But also, there are people that don't deserve your forgiveness, but you deserve to have inner peace and inner happiness. And that peace of mind only comes through forgiving them for knowing not what they do. And I'm talking about people that purposely hurt you, sociopaths, narcissists, psychopaths, people who are, seems like they're hell-bent on destroying all those around them because they believe that's going to bring them peace. They're wrong. They don't understand their own psychology, and they don't admit to themselves who they are because they can't, because that's who they are. So I feel sorry for them, but at a distance, At the core of everyone's being, they are true and pure love, and they are created from the divine as well. And usually it's through a series of circumstances, usually, bad parenting or traumatic things that happen. And also, I believe that up to a third of the population actually came here on purpose to create havoc from an evil standpoint. But I think it's less than that now. I feel like maybe we're at 20 to 25%. It's not a third. It's like maybe a fourth or less, even maybe a fifth of the population came here on purpose to be evil. And it's going away. I mean, now that, the majority of us are wakening up, we're spiritually growing and changing and transforming every day. We're moving up into the fifth dimension. Most of us are already here in the fifth dimension physically. It's been starting anyway, and it's on its way. Now, it doesn't feel a whole lot different than the third. It feels a little bit fluffy, tingly, electric, buzzing. I don't know. These are words that come to my mind. What I've been experiencing for about a week now, when my higher guidance said, yeah, you're physically in the fifth. I don't consider myself to be way, way up into the fifth dimension. I think I just crossed the threshold about a week ago. I feel weird, really weird. Like I don't really feel my body much anymore. Like the pain that I had in my body, I think still exists, but I'm not aware of it anymore. It's almost like rising above, things. And there's still emotional stuff, to be had. There's still, healing that goes on in the fifth. I know people in the seventh dimension, in basically what is our heaven, they still go through issues, emotional issues. Even after they die, people still have. So it's not like you leave the third dimension and, I'll never feel sad again. It's not true. I mean, people in heaven can feel sorrow for having been missing us, or people can feel sad for us when we're going through hard times and there's nothing they can do except pray for us. I've been thinking about my people that are on the other side today quite a bit. I started asking God, about the people who think about me, and the ones that don't. And I kind of can tell, like my birth mom, I don't think she's ever given me a single thought since she got to the other side. Because if she had, she would come visit me. And I don't think she cares. It's very weird. I don't know why that is, because, I loved her very much. But, she just did not treat me very well her last few years on Earth. And I don't think she just gives it a thought. Honestly, I don't think she cares one way or the other. We'll see, in only time will tell. But I do know that, like my other relatives that have died, my friends, I have a lot of friends who've passed away, most of them way too young. And I feel them. I feel them thinking about me. I just miss them so much, and I feel them missing me as well. And I know that there's a lot of sadness and regret in some of the cases where we didn't get to meet, or we got to meet, but we didn't have enough time together. We didn't make the time we needed to have had a better friendship or relationship. Maybe we could have had more time together and circumstances weren't correct, conditions weren't right. And there's a lot of longing for what could have been, what might have been, what should have been. But in those kinds of situations, you have to forgive the circumstance, or, forgive the lack of good timing. Sometimes we are here on Earth and we're just hanging out, and we'll meet people who we absolutely love, and we feel like we know them. We feel like we've known them forever. It's like there's no pretense. There's no putting on of airs or pretending you're someone that you're not to impress them. It's just like, oh my God, how the hell are you? Kind of feeling. And you just love that person so much. And it's just from the instant, it just clicks. And then like a day or two later, or a week or two later, everything shifts. Oh, but I was moving to this other state. Oh, but I got another job in a different town. Or, I'm getting married and going on my honeymoon, and then you never see them again, or whatever it is, There's always something. And I've had several friendships like that were just intense, so much love, such a deep friendship, and happened so fast, and then all of a sudden, everything in life changed. We graduated from university, or whatever happened. And it's sorrowful to me, because those are the people that I seem to have clicked with the most, that went away the fastest. And since I'm having this really crappy life theme of being rejected constantly, and I chose it for myself, so I can only really be mad at myself and blame myself for picking this stupid life theme as my last life here. But, it's just, there's all these regrets I have about, I wish I would have had more time with that person. I wish I would have spent that extra day or that extra week, so I have to forgive myself for not recognizing what I had when I had it. And I have to recognize that forgiveness is necessary of the situation. Usually never of the other person, it's just, I just see my own part, the role I played in totally flubbing that moment up that could have been maybe more intense, more beautiful, more filled with being in the present moment. So there's a lot of circumstances that we need to forgive, and a lot of healing can be had in that inner beauty that's contained within the act of forgiveness itself. We have a very complicated world we live in, and a lot of things are happening. So we also need to forgive people in the world that are creating chaos and havoc that are hurting people, such as creating in a laboratory and releasing a virus that's becoming a pandemic and killing people. It's not as, intense as the media is making it out, I don't think. It is spreading, but 94% of people get better automatically. There's no cure. How could there be? It's just a virus, right? But if you listen to my virus show a couple weeks ago, you can actually kill viruses with things like antimicrobial essential oils, aromatherapy, as well as you kill viruses with just bleach, cleaning your countertops and your kitchen floor and keep everything bleached and free of viruses in that way, and wash your hands, obviously. And also Rife, there was a Rife app I had. It's not, I don't know what happened, like they took it down or it's not working, but there are other Rife apps. You can find also Rife frequencies on the internet. I don't know the one that kills the coronavirus 19, but they'll figure it out. Someone will figure it out. As well as, there are broad spectrum frequencies that will shatter most viruses. There's also binaural beats, and there's all kinds of things. But we can forgive the circumstances, and even if we lose our lives, we can forgive the fact that this occurred. Nothing is above forgiveness, really. Now, if somebody murdered somebody in your family, that's really hard. It's incredibly sad. But did they actually kill the person? No, they didn't, because you can't ever die. You are a soul that is going to live forever. You are pure light. You are pure love. You are pure peace and grace at your inner true sanctum, at the core of who you are. So what happens when people die, regardless of the circumstance that got them to that gateway of death, death's door, is whatever got them there. It doesn't matter, because what happens is they just go to the heaven, the other side of this planet, where they get to hang out and eat grapes and pet cats they're not allergic to. You can even eat carbs over there. Not going to gain weight. You get to see your people who passed before you, and anything you need to work out over there, it's much easier being filled with the energy of positivity and love, as opposed to being filled with the energy of anxiety and dread and fear and panic, which so often accompanies us. They are not our friends, but they do accompany us on many of our journeys here on planet Earth. And we could forgive that too. And we could forgive ourselves for allowing ourselves to wallow in the energy of that too much. I know I get stuck in it, and I feel like I have some kind of energy that leads to the anxiety in my body. And I know when the psoas muscle is tight, it leads to anxiety. And when you unravel the psoas muscle, psoas is spelled Psoas. When you unravel the psoas muscle and you release it immediately, it's like taking a Xanax or a Valium. It's like all that anxiety is gone within 5 minutes. It's very weird. If any of you have anxiety and you feel like maybe you need these exercises, you just private message me on either Instagram at mermaidgirl888 or on my Facebook Messenger, just, Lena Fox Starks. Because I do have a program that does help. I've used it several times, and it just unravels those muscles, and it's like, oh, all right, that's all I needed. Didn't really need a Valium. Didn't need to break out the bong. Actually, I was fine. I needed to unravel the muscle. It's very weird that it's literally a muscle that creates anxiety in most people. Most people don't know it. Go to their doctor, get medicine, get hooked, and screw up their brain. And usually it's not your brain. Usually it's just this muscle that kind of runs between your hips and your legs. It's very weird. But, yeah, so forgiveness is the key. I put this on my Instagram today. Forgiveness is the key to inner peace. And forgiveness of yourself, forgiveness of others, forgiveness of life circumstances, and forgiveness of sometimes just picking your life theme that's just so crappy. Some of you have wonderful life themes and you're just moving right along and everything is humming for you and hopping, and you got your money, you got your family, you got people that surround you that love you. But some people pick things like victim mentality, not like to be a victim and make people feel sorry, but it's not mentality. I guess there's like a life theme of actually being a victim, like literally, like constantly over and over, like, you become a slave or you get beaten up or like all the crap that can possibly happen. That's the worst kind of thing. And usually people that have a life theme of being a victim are not even, they don't even complain about it. They just live it, and what would a theme like that even be useful for? It's so that other people can feel compassion for them. Someone's always complaining about being a victim. Then no one really feels sorry for that. But most people that complain about being a victim aren't in that life theme, actually. But some people are movers and shakers in the world. Some people are world leaders. Some people have, like being a hero, rescuing people. I think my ex, he rescued a lot of people. He saved a lot of people's lives in the Bosnia-Herzegovina thing I've mentioned a couple times. And I think he might have that hero thing. And he's a true hero. And he would never, ever say, I'm a hero. But he totally is. He's very sweet, very quiet, very loving individual. But he's a soldier through and through. He's a tough guy, but not a macho guy. I don't know if you'd hate to hear me say that or not, but but everyone has life themes, and we're going to go over that at some point. Not tonight, but, when we're ready to go over it, I'm going to go over all the life themes that Sylvia Browne talked about in several of her books, because it's so interesting. It's so interesting. I've read her books many times about this because it just fascinates the hell out of me. But I know for a fact mine is rejection, being rejected. And why would I pick this stupid life theme? It's not all that stupid, but it just feels, I get really mad at myself. So I have to forgive myself for picking this because I hate being rejected. And it's really hard to build a business when people are constantly rejecting you. But all the people that reject me have done so because it was in their soul contract to reject me. And the more, and I mean on a personal level, like people like in my family who just don't really talk to me anymore. Friends that were really good friends and then go away. But a lot of times it's, the rejection is about, knowing who I can truly trust. And the only one I can truly trust is myself and God. And so it makes me go deep within, and it helps me to be one with God so that I'm okay with all the people in and out of my life, in and out of my circumstances. And that's why I picked it. And I'm so mad. Why did I not pick something else like movie star or something? Okay, that's not a life theme. But it's hard. I mean, it makes you really love yourself in the end, because you realize that maybe other people don't. You're the only one that loves you. And so I have to forgive myself for picking that. So whatever it is that your life theme is, if you hate the way your life is gone and you're just like, what the actual hell happened? Get to the end or middle part of your life and you're like, dude, I feel like I wasted all these decades. Or I feel like it feels like, at least, I don't know if it feels like this for you guys, but it feels like for me that I'm crawling on my hands and knees at the bottom of the deepest trench in the ocean. And that's about how fast I have been able to move on in my life to get to where I'm going. That's how I feel. I feel like for 51 years, I've been crawling on the bottom of the ocean on my hands and knees. Almost like in quicksand. That's how I feel. I feel like all the hopes and the dreams and the things I have for myself that I really want to get done and go and move on and go. And I'm just like, and I'm a fast person. Like I'll make a decision and I try to make contacts and it's just like nothing functions. When everything starts to flow and everything's good and I got all the people lined up, all of a sudden, like something happens. Like I get really sick, or there's riots outside my window, or now the coronavirus is making everybody sit home now. Companies all over the world are saying, don't come to work. Do not come to work. And company, like executive heads in companies and in governments are starting to get sick. And it's just like, this is like the one great equalizer in the world right now. It's not going to avoid you because you're rich. It's not going to avoid you because you're a star athlete or a movie star. It's not going to avoid you because you are gainfully employed or because you're a mother. It's an equal opportunity offender. This is just a virus. But, we got to forgive that circumstance too, and forgive ourselves for being freaked out about it. I know that a lot of people are trying so hard not to be freaked out by it. So only thing I can tell you is just protect yourself. I already did a 2-hour workshop on how to protect yourself from it. So if you have not listened or checked that out yet, just go back, just do like maybe a Google search for Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast, viruses, and you'll find the episode. But, it's just, things are crazy, things are crazy sometimes on this planet. Speaking of crazy, boy, I'm better today emotionally, but yesterday was a crazy day. How many of you had like a really weird emotional weekend? I was really affected, obviously. Really affected yesterday. And then all the weirdness that happened last night with all the lights turning off. It was like, it wasn't just like in one building where you could think, oh, well, they just lost power for a moment. It was like across like a whole, it was like 2 whole blocks, and it was every light, and they all shut off at once. And I was just like, whoa. And it was this, my son had heard this humming. It was very weird. And for hours, all day long today, I've felt this overwhelming energy. And I've been asking God, what is this energy that I feel? Because it's not, I looked at the Schumann Resonance. It's not all that, actually. Today, it's not that big of a deal in the 7 places that I'm going to tell you about in a minute. And I asked about, like, I looked and we don't have any, as far as I know, we don't have solar wind flowing our way. We don't really have any more anything. We just don't, like, there's no accounting for what's going on. And God has told me it is the fifth dimensional energy I'm feeling. It's flowing into me. It's changing my body physically. And I'm becoming like a higher octave of my former self. Cool. Cool, Daddy-o. I'll do that. I'll go for it. Something's got to move. Something's got to give. Cool. Let's go. But also the Arcturian Council, as well as other ET groups, are pouring so much love and so much energy into our collective transformation. And I feel like my vibe is matching it. And so I'm like, woo! It's like I'm going headlong into this intense vibration. I've had tinnitus that's absolutely loud as hell for like the past 6 hours, and it makes me feel altered. I feel like I've been hitting the bong all day, and I haven't done that in months and months, but I just feel like I'm really like kind of at a cosmic sleepiness or a cosmic high type of energy. And my body is tingly and numb. All of my body feels numb. And at the same time, I'm having like weird symptoms as if I'm sick, but I'm not sick. Don't have a virus. In fact, today I don't even have a fever, but my throat is swollen and hurts as if I'm sick. So again, with the weirdness of like this cosmic ascension flu type of energy still going on. So if you guys are having this cosmic nap situation and the cosmic, I'm like feeling a lot of weird energy, like panic, anxiety energy. It's not always from me. I was taking on some energy for a friend, like for 2 days, I found out, and I was like, I'm going to deflect that back to him. This is his crap. I mean, quit giving me your stuff, man. As soon as I realized that, it like took away like 85% of it, up to 90%. Just, all right, it's not mine. And I asked God to take it away from me because it's just crazy. But I'm still feeling a little bit of that now, and I don't know if I'm feeling the people around me. I had a weird dream that I was, the neighbor was, this really was happening. The neighbor was doing something with a hammer upstairs this morning, and it wasn't very loud. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're just tapping on a counter. I don't know what they're doing, but I had a dream that they were trying to signal me with Morse code and ask me to rescue them and protect them, that they were trapped somehow. And I woke up and I started laughing because I realized that was a direct correlation to that movie Parasites that just won all those awards, and I had just seen it. And my son and I are always talking about that movie because it was so profound. It was sad, but very profound. And so it was like the weirdest dream though, like suddenly out of nowhere in my dream, I know Morse code. I woke up going, what the hell is happening? Very, very weird, man. But the energy is very strange, but also very good. I mean, I got my Instagram going again. Thank God. So you guys will get more messages from me over there. Mermaid Girl 888. Jerry Sargent started to follow me today. I don't know if you know about star healing magic, or maybe it's star magic healing. I think that's what he calls it. Yeah, star magic healing. Yeah, Jerry Sargent, man. I've been following him on YouTube for like 3 years. He's so intense. His vibe is really powerful. He's a healer who lives, I think he's in New Zealand. He even did a rap song one time. Just cracked me up. It was incredible. Very positive, high vibrational. I think he's a starseed. and he's a pretty cool dude. And he followed me on Instagram today, which I thought was neat because I didn't mention him or anything, and suddenly he's following me. I'm like, yo, man, I love you, brother. He's really cool. He's a neat person. And he just got back, like he just got done with that LA, the Conscious Life Expo. He was there. I don't think he's on Gaia. He's not famous enough yet to be on Gaia. You have to be super famous to get on there. But I want to go next year if I can do it. I'm going to try to get to the Conscious Life Expo. If you guys have any way to get me in, I think I just have to apply. I think it's just a matter of you have to pay them money for a booth. I think that's all it is. And then you get your 45 minutes to lead a workshop. So it's really easy to get in. But if I can do it, I'm thinking about getting that done next, I think it's like January. But, yeah, I wanted to say thank you, by the way. Shout out to Yasmin for favoriting my podcast. A lot more people from other than Anchor have favorited my podcast. And if I haven't mentioned you, because I can't possibly go check out all the names of the people who have favorited, liked, subscribed, and whatever, I want to say thank you to everybody. And if you're on YouTube listening to this, Spreaker is doing a terrible job as my distributor. They've been doing the big data dumps, and, you know, it's like, who wants like 10 hours dumped on you in a heartbeat, when it should be, when I release a show, within 24 hours, the show should be out. And they're just being terrible about it. They're holding my distribution feed hostage for more money. It's just ridiculous. So, if you are listening to me on YouTube, I wanted to let you know that it's probably better if you get a podcast application. I'm on Spotify, I'm on iHeartRadio, I'm on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Podcaster, Castbox, all of the reputable ones I'm on. I say reputable because there's a couple out there that I can't get my feet on unless I pay them $100 a year, and it's kind of a scam like that. So all the podcast streaming apps where you just find all the other podcasts, I'm on all of those. Unless they're being distributed through Spreaker, and I think they're screwing it up. So I've got to go and see all the people they're distributing me to so that I can directly give them my feed and then delete Spreaker from my life forever, because they're, if you have a podcast, guys, don't do it. Don't go through them. I've been trying to get my money back. They charged me $200 for nothing because they're not even distributing my account the way they're supposed to. So I'm just trying to get through all that. They stopped distributing it to my Facebook page, even though they were being paid to do that. I don't even think they're distributing it through my Twitter feed, but if they are, let me know. If you see it, let me know. I haven't gone on Twitter in a couple days. And there's a lot of you I haven't gotten back to on my email either. I've just been, I can't even explain what I've been going through, but I've just been, I guess, in the fifth dimension. I'm out there on a day-to-day basis. It's like I feel like I'm not even of this world anymore. I have many days where it's like the time flies, and it's like, dude, it's been like 12 hours and I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I don't even know what I was doing during these hours. Like, I'm managing to get done what I need to get done, but it's just going so fast that it feels like it's only been 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half. And I look at the time and it's like, dude, it's been 12 hours. Time has been very strange lately. I've been hopping timelines every few days. So I want you guys to be aware of, as you do that forgiveness exercise, just forgive. And you don't have to forgive someone to their face to make them feel better. That's not about that. You just send the love and the energy out to the universe. If you have somebody who's dead and you can't really tell them face to face anyway, just tell their spirit, or tell God directly. Tell your higher self. I forgive all my circumstances. I forgive myself. I forgive all the people that hurt me. all the people that stole my girlfriend or stole my boyfriend or tried to steal people away from me, or all the people that talked bad about me or lied about me or stole from me or physically harmed me, emotionally scarred me, or psychologically damaged me. I forgive all those people, because all the people that hurt you, by the way, A, they're you, and B, they're unaware because they're still sleeping spiritually. No one would ever hurt you that was awake. I had this lady contact me today, and this is so hilarious. I kind of briefly dated somebody for like a month. It's not like that we dated either. It's just that he came over to my house every day at supper time because I think he was hungry. I don't think he was making enough money in Mexico to eat, so I fed him. I fed him every day, and he thought that I was his girlfriend. And we never had a conversation about it. He just assumed. And then he left to renew his visa because he was from Nicaragua, and then he came back after I'd left, and he's like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "Well, I told you I was leaving, and you left without saying goodbye, so it's not like I was your girlfriend." But I get an email from this lady today who says, "I think that you still love this person, and I'm his girlfriend." And I went, "Oh, sweetheart, don't worry. I have absolutely zero interest in a relationship with this individual." I told him that back then, 7 years ago, last time I saw him, or 6 years ago. And I told him that like 25 times, and he doesn't understand. Maybe you can help explain it to him that I love him as a human being. I love all the human beings on the planet, but I'm not interested in having a relationship with him. And, and then she kind of was like, "Okay, look, I'm in the same situation though, and I don't know what to do about it. Could I add you on Facebook?" Because she's like, "Because I'm his girlfriend, but I don't want to be." And it's like, he's the kind of person, he's so persistent, and he doesn't really take no for an answer, and he doesn't really understand. And I don't understand why he doesn't understand that, because in the rest of his life, he has a job, he works, he's able to travel, he's mentally competent, but in this he has this one blind spot where he thinks that if he wants someone, they're going to be with him forever. And he's innocent in that way. It's a weirdness, a weird innocence. Maybe he might be a narcissist or something. I don't know, but he doesn't act like it. But he doesn't ever want to hurt anybody. In fact, he just wants to love. He just wants to be a lover, right? That's all he wants. He just wants to, and in the sweetest, most innocent part of it, he just wants to, kiss and hold your hand, right? And she's just like, I'm his girlfriend, but I don't really want to be. Like, I don't know, sweetie, but yeah, add me. It was like the funniest conversation. I was like, she's like, "You're so cool." I'm like, "So are you, honey." But she's like, but you still love him?" I'm like, "I love everyone on the whole planet. I love you too." And she's like, "That's the sweetest thing. I love you too." Oh my gosh, it's so cool. So it was just kind of neat to have a moment where somebody I don't even know told me that they love me, and I told them that I love them. And I thought that was neat. And I have a friend on Facebook that said he was just like walking down the street a few weeks ago. I think I did maybe tell the story, but I still think it's hilarious that he's just walking down the street and he's hanging out with a couple of his guy friends. I think they're like in Chicago. And there's these other guys walking down the street towards them. And these guys are looking like tough. Like, they're dressed in hoodies. They're kind of like dressed like hip hop style, like really kind of tough, rough and tumble type of guys, right? And people you don't want to cross. And all of a sudden, this one guy like kind of put his hoodie down, and he had like this Rastafarian hair, and he was wearing all the Rasta colors, and he had jewelry on that was like the Rasta style. And the guy just looked right directly into the eyes of my friend, and he yelled in front of his tough guy friends, "I love you, man. I love you." And my friend is very spiritual. He's a shaman. He's like super, super aware spiritually. He's a shaman, and he's just like, I love you too. Thank you. And it was one of the weirdest moments of his life because a random stranger just said, hey, I love you. And I feel like we're going that way. We're going towards that. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Energy. All of us are going to it. So, and I had other people even today, like, 20 something people have added me since yesterday on Instagram. And out of those, probably 3 or 4 people have said, I love you to me today. That I never talked to them or interacted with them before. And I'm so grateful for that. It's so incredible where we're headed. So I want you guys to be aware of that too. And when you feel like saying it, just say it. Because you're really, truly just saying it to yourself anyway. And that love supersedes and superpasses, it overpasses, it goes over the energy of having to forgive. Just that love, pure love, that is the vibration we have to hold here on the planet. It's where we're going, it's where we're headed. All right, guys, I'm going to get a little bit into the spaceweather.com. We are still on sunspot number 12. This is the only one that's lasted as long as it had. The other one started and fizzled out right away. How amazing is that? We've had this one for several days, but goodbye, AR2758. It is rapidly disintegrating. So sad. We have 13 fireballs over the United States. The rest of the world, I don't know, because the NASA Fireball Network, All Sky Fireball Network is only the sky over the U.S. That's all we have the information on. The solar wind will be flowing our way tomorrow. Might even be starting now. It's from the polar coronal hole of the sun. It's going to brush the Earth's magnetic field basically tomorrow. So that's what's going on. Let me see. I'm trying to look at some of this other stuff. It's just always the same information lately. Oulu counts from Oulu, Finland is pretty much the same. We're still high. That's a cosmic radiation hitting us, and the thermosphere is cold right now. The solar wind is 323.1 kilometers per second. And not a whole lot more news on space weather right now. We'll see what goes on for tomorrow. It'll probably change. And as far as, it's like funny, as far as the Schumann Resonance today from disclosurenews.it, it's still at 17. It's been 17. Always and only 17, it says. After the peaks at power 17, the calm began at 17. Local timeline. That's the 17 evening report. The activity continued, even if it was all at moderate levels. The peaks continued on power 17. We got it, 17. That's what this says. That's literally what the two reports are for disclosure. 17 is the number, baby. The Schumann Resonance is also very weird. It's strangely quiet as far as heart math as well. California started off at 4 at midnight, 4 hertz frequency. That's below what it's supposed to be normally. And ended at 0 by 5 a.m. Actually, by 4 a.m. ended. So, Hopu, Saudi Arabia was at 0 all the way across. Lithuania started off at 10 hertz frequency, and by 4 a.m. they were at 0 hertz frequency. What is going on? Why all these zeros? Alberta, Canada started off at 31 hertz frequency at midnight, and they are the only ones that went up. So by 4 a.m. they were at 33 hertz frequency. I don't know why 5 o'clock is not showing on this map, but it's not for heartmath.org. But yeah, 33, there's a nice master number. And I say that, and my tinnitus in my left ear got very high pitched right when I said 33. So Northland, New Zealand, they started off at 39 hertz frequency at midnight, and they just by 4 a.m. were at 36 hertz frequency. And this one's a surprising one for me. Hulului, South Africa, started off at another master number 33 a minute ago. Now we have 44. 44, which is another master number, started at midnight. That's the hertz frequency of Hulului, South Africa, and by 4 a.m. they were at 0 as well. So basically how we ended up at 4 o'clock in the morning today, we have 4 cities at 0, and Alberta, Canada at 33, Northland, New Zealand at 36, and everyone else is zeroed out, except for Italy, who was at 17. I don't know. Can't even make up this stuff anymore. It's just crazy. For the A Course in Miracles lesson today, we are on lesson 251. There is a blurb on what is sin. If you want to read it, it's pretty long-ish. It's a page, only a page. But you can go to acim.org to read that. But today I'm just going to go over the lesson 251. And this is what it is. This is for the Foundation for Inner Peace. You can also get an app if you don't want to find it on the internet, or you could just listen to me, give you the info. That's cool too. Lesson 251. I am in need of nothing but the truth. I am in need of nothing but the truth. I sought for many things and found despair. Now do I seek but one, for in that one is all I need, and only what I need. All that I sought before I needed not and did not even want. My only need I did not recognize. But now I see that I need only truth. In that all needs are satisfied, all cravings end, all hopes are finally fulfilled, and dreams are gone. Now have I everything that I could need. Now have I everything that I could want. And now at last, I find myself at peace. And for that peace, our Father, we give thanks. What we denied ourselves, you have restored. And only that is what we really want. I am in need of nothing but the truth. I don't know about you guys, but that raised my vibration. That was actually really incredible. I hope you liked that. Makes me happy, that energy of truth. So, there it is. I'm going to take a quick break, guys. When I come back, I'm going to channel Prime Creator. So it's Channeling Tuesday today. And that's it. That's all we're going to do today. Just channel, have a quick message from the one Will. I don't know what he's talking about today, what the plan is. It's usually a surprise to me, but I think he's going to maybe go over the energies that we've been feeling, hopefully. So I've just got to put myself in the correct state of mind to channel the one who created us all right after this message. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's high time you did. It is the absolute easiest way to make a podcast. First of all, it's absolutely free. Second of all, they have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. You guys have known that I've been doing this for 8 months using the Anchor.fm app right on my cell phone, and I have done it everywhere, right? I have recorded this in my living room, my bedroom, little cafes in Quito, Ecuador, all over Cuenca. It's so absolutely easy to make your podcast, and editing is just a snap. Anchor also will distribute your podcast for you. And it took me about 2.5 months to become syndicated. And now I'm available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more, and so can you. You can make money from your podcast also, and there's no minimum requirement. You get paid from your very first listener. It is everything that you need to make a podcast all in one place. So please, if you are interested in making a podcast of your very own, do not hesitate to start with Anchor. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. All right, guys, I'm already connected to Prime Creator, and I don't know what he's going to talk about, but we're going to see. I have touched my forehead and said, Ki Asha. If you would like to open up your third eye, that's all you need to do. Touch your third eye and say, Ki Asha 3 times, and you will feel it pulsating. It's an instantaneous, it's like a quick, instant meditation, and it comes from the Pleiades. If you say Linkura and touch your ears, that will also open you up to further telepathic communication. If you're not interested in hearing voices from elsewhere, don't do it. Linkura Shatadaba, it's a whole nother thing. But Ki Asha, when you touch your forehead, will help you in your endeavors to be more clairvoyant. So I've noticed that my third eye pulsates like crazy, makes me more psychic. So helps me to see things when I am being told by whoever I'm channeling. Sometimes they give pictures. I channel beings from other planets and other dimensions. Sometimes beings who used to be Earthlings and now they're disembodied spirits, meaning their physical body has died. I have channeled in the past year many different ET beings, as well as in groups of ET beings, as well as Art Bell, who founded Coast to Coast AM and worked in radio for over 40 years. I have channeled Robin Williams and Master Merlin and spiritually ascended masters, as well as everyday folk that lived over 1,000 years ago that were still hanging out. And I asked if I could have an interview before I released them on their way, because as a healer and energy shaman, I tend to help spirits move along that have not been able to for whatever reason. And also, I have channeled the spirit of the planet Earth, as well as the moon and the sun. So if you're brand new to the show, and a lot of people are coming to the show now, if you're brand new to the show, just want to explain that. I am an indirect channel, not a direct channel. I do not allow any being, entity, or otherwise to take over my body. I only will channel the information via telepathy. So whatever I hear them say, I tell you what I hear them say. If I don't hear something correctly, I do use muscle testing or kinesthesiology to get a yes or a no. And I'll ask them to rephrase it if it's something that's hard to understand. So anyway, I'm already connected to Prime Creator of the universe. Some of you know him as God. Jehovah, Yahweh, Allah. It's all pretty much the same thing, just Dios, different names for the one will, or the primal will to good that eternally creates and sustains the universe. Am I connected to you, Prime Creator? Muscle testing says yes. All right, go ahead. You may begin transmission. Hello and greetings to all of you whom come from me. I created you from and out of myself, out of a grand design and necessity to know myself better and to contemplate myself better. My heart is like yours, filled with love. My being, who I am as God, your creator, is pure love. And nothing beyond that can be created from that. In other words, you are pure light, pure love. Your souls are constantly and consistently being maintained, and you are a steady stream of informational light transmission. As I think of you, you are. As I wish it to be, you exist in the point in time at which I wish for you to exist. And my greatest and fondest wish is that your ultimate happiness, your ultimate peace, your desire to know the true highest goal and standard of being within the energy of pure love, with an energy of pure bliss. That is my fondest wish for you, as it should be for yourself. We love you. And we wish for you to 100% live in the beauty and the joy of that divine love. We realize that you have taken an incredible journey and chance on living in the third dimension. We recognize how hard it's been. And we have never ceased for one single portion of a nanosecond to consistently send you the highest vibratory love, the highest energy available. And in your position, from your perspective, you might not have been getting the energy or getting the memos of this, because you have been so entrenched in believing that you are separate. You have been so embroiled, so enmeshed in the idea of being other than. We are now asking you to claim your divine heritage and your divine birthright. We're asking for you to claim this and know it in every cell of your being. Know it in every atom, every molecule, and the spaces within, and the spaces without. We are constantly touching you. We can't help but to touch you because everything is one. You are one with us. We are one with you. You are one with your neighbors. You are one with the plates and dishes in your sink And you are one with the molecules in the air that you breathe. Your heart beats because we think of you. Your body works because we think of you. When I say we, I mean Divine Mother and myself, your divine parents. It is easy for many of you to imagine that this is the case, even though there's much more to the story. This is how we wish at this time to present ourselves. So this transmission is Prime Creator and Divine Mother, or Divine Father, Divine Mother, if you wish. Our love for you knows no bounds. We are incredibly enamored of you and in love with you. We are living in a bond of love together. Whether you feel it or not, know it or not, recognize it or not. It exists and it spans across all lifetimes you've ever had, on every planet you've ever been, in every dimension you've ever experienced. Across all lifetimes, all time, space, dimensional, or dimensions, time, space, dimensions, across all time continuums, in all existences, ones you can imagine and ones you don't even know about yet. Many of you are crossing the threshold into the fifth dimension at this time physically. We wish to let you know that we are transmitting constantly a high vibrational light beam to your world. It is by nature of color. Right now, you shall be receiving an energy of platinum. It's an octave above silver and gold in the vibrational energies of those. We're not talking about the metal, we're just talking about the energy of the color, the vibrational or vibratory pattern of the color that we beam. We beam many different colors to you for very many different reasons. Platinum is the one that is calling your soul home, upward, to a higher vibration in which you will be. You will be. We want you to think about the word be right there. Many of you call yourselves human, and you don't consider the word being. A lot of you live your lives as human doings. You do things. You're active, constantly doing. And we would like to ask you to take a step back and practice being in the now. Literally being a human being. We like to remind you of this from time to time, and so you'll hear this through many different places, many different channels, because it's ultimately so important. Meditate. Focus your mind. Ask to be one with us, and we shall comply. You're already one with us, but when you ask, then you become active as a partner with us. We wish for you at this time to ask to be one with your soul. We ask that you open your heart, your mind, your body, your soul, all of your chakras and your aura to the high vibrational platinum energy that we are beaming at you right now. This is going to purify all the energy. It will purify from your body the energies of lust, jealousy, greed, anger, fear, panic, hysteria, and anxiety, to name a few. It will bring about the energy and the level and excitement of all forgiveness having taken place already. We wish for you to sit with that for a moment. Imagine a world in which you exist. See yourself inside a dimension in which all conflicts have ceased to be. All manner of confusion has fallen to the wayside. You vibrate as if riding on a wave on top of a very clear mountain, as if you're sitting on air. Allow the platinum energy, the platinum waves of light to wash over you. Allow it to scrub clean all the corners, all the recesses of your mental body, your emotional body, your spiritual body. Allow it to vibrate and activate your Merkaba, your spirit light body. Some of you may wish to imagine that you're sitting on a rose gold color or platinum colored rose or a lotus flower. If you have a different flower you like, it's okay to imagine what makes you happy and comfortable. But if you act as if you're floating above a giant flower of your choice, lotus is popular, roses are popular, they're very high in vibration. And imagine that this is the seat of yourself. This is a nice visualization because it's sweet and it's comfortable for a lot of you. And it's different from the everyday humdrum lives that you have led your whole life. You're entering a new territory now. So many of you, we are aware that when you meditate and you imagine yourself sitting there, you imagine yourself sitting on your couch or your bed or your floor or your special cushion, your specialized chair in your space, your sacred space. Now we wish to ask you that you enter into the inner sanctum of your mind and you sit upon the flower of your choice and imagine that it is platinum. Colored lights around you dance in every direction, bringing you a state and feeling of peace and joy and happiness. Very, very pale shades of electric, rainbow-colored light. in a column would be a good visualization for this. These multiple colors will allow you to be flexible. If you find yourself lacking flexibility emotionally or mentally, or even physically, if you wish to reach the highest vibration at this time, pure white and gold or the platinum color, those help. Platinum is what we are beaming to right now. So if you want to work with that color, it will help. The more you get into your meditation, the more you sit in silence with yourself, with your eyes closed, and you look inward to your third eye, you're going to begin to see colors that up until now did not exist for you. We wish for you to be aware of these colors and offer them your love and be open to them and see what gifts they offer and bring you. Each of you will receive gifts every time you meditate. From now on, you will receive the gifts of insight, clarity. The whole universe is getting an energetic scrubbing at this time. We are beaming out from the grand central sun, the center of the universe. We are beaming out energy in every direction. You will have days when this wears you out and you feel tired, and you're going to have days in which it energizes you, and you will have days in which you are no longer aware of your body. You will feel like you are floating outside of time and space, and that should be expected. And now that you have heard this message, you will no longer be freaked out by it. We wish for you to understand that everything that you receive at this time of a higher vibrational nature is meant for your spiritual growth, for your further awakening, and for your ascension, as well as the ascension of those around you. You are helping your neighbor every time you meditate. You are helping your family, your friends, your neighbors, people that are in close vicinity to you, whether you know them or not, whether you've ever set your eyes on them or not, even if you've never seen them. Just working on you, working on your inner vision, being aware of your own spiritual growth and your own spirituality as a true commitment of the heart. Because indeed, this is a contract with your soul. In fact, if you're listening to this transmission, you have a contract with your soul, and you always did. You've had a commitment to being in this this running race towards the ascension of humanity. We call it a running race because, and we laugh about it because many of you have made it about who's going to get there first. Who's the first wavers? Who's the second wave? Are you in the third wave, or maybe you've chosen to stay behind? We're here to tell you that you all are going forward. You all are moving. There are humans on the planet that will be not moving now. Someday they will. Chances are, if you are listening to this, you are moving upwards. You're moving into the fifth dimension, If you're already in the fifth dimension physically, you're moving more and more into it. You do not have to have your Merkaba developed, your spirit light body, to be in the fifth dimension. It's something that you will work on once you're there. Many of you started in the third dimension, and that's fine. It's not a requirement, and just because you're in the fifth dimension doesn't mean you're automatically going to have all of your spiritual powers intact. For some of you, the powers will never come. They will only be an inner illumination, depending on your personal focus and your soul contract and what your higher self allows at the moment. Some of you would be quite distracted if suddenly fireballs were coming out of your hands. Some of you would be distracted if you could fly. And some of you might get very afraid if some of these things started to happen. When you get your spiritual gifts and powers, they're going to come on very, very slow and gradually, so that by the time they reach you totally, by the time you have engaged with the spiritual gifts and powers, they will be as if second nature, like breathing or walking. And you'll only use them when you need them, and it's not going to be any different than your typical everyday powers. From talking to tying your shoes, which was such a monumentous task when you were a toddler. And in time, it became just a part of you. And that is what will happen with your spiritual gifts. When they all come online, it's all going to be in the correct and divine timing for you. So if it's been worrying you in any way, some of you are worried because you don't have the spiritual gifts that you hoped would happen, and you feel that maybe you somehow failed or did it wrong. You crossed into the fifth dimension and you don't have wings and you're not flying. Well, it's not logical for that to have happened anyway, right? Some of you crossed into the fifth dimension and you don't believe it because you look around and you see the same people and the same houses and the same cars, and it appears that pollution exists, and it appears that bills need to get paid and jobs need to be worked. Jobs aren't going to work themselves. A lot of you had erroneous ideas of what it would be like in the fifth dimension, and it's all going to change, but gradually, so that by the time the beautiful golden age in which heaven on earth exists, by the time that has arrived, it will have gradually taken place so slowly that you barely noticed it happening. One day you'll wake up and there it is. There it will be. There will be a time in which you'll see hail fall from the sky and it looks like crystals falling from heaven or diamonds. And you'll wonder, did hail always look like this? Am I only noticing this now? There will be moments like this for a wide variety of many, many things in your life. But what we can truly tell you right now, what you'll understand the most from this transmission, is that, as you've always known, patience is a virtue, and you will have to be patient. Everything in its own time. Everything in the universal God time will occur when it's ready, when you're ready for it. Be prepared emotionally for the extraterrestrials to come and be in your life and help you with various aspects of living in a higher dimension. It's coming. In 2 to 3 years, it should be commonplace. In 12 to 13 months, it will start happening on a global scale. For some of you, in 6 to 7 months, you will be contacted if you haven't already. Some of you, it would be 9 months. In 3 to 5 months, if you have not been telepathically connected or linked to ETs and you are a star child or a star seed, as some people say, you will, in 3 to 5 months, you will start to be contacted if they have not already been there with you. Some of you were not ready emotionally to handle the feeling of beings in your room, let alone seeing them. If you are contacted in 3 to 5 months and you've never been consciously contacted before, what will happen is it will be as if a soft, gentle breeze has entered your room and you'll feel an energy shift. You won't see them because they don't want to frighten you. Those of you who are absolutely ready and you've had contact, in 1 to 2 months, you're going to start having more contact, and it will gradually shift in nature until you are physically capable of seeing them. But it will only happen gradually and slowly, and it might take a long time. If that is to be your spiritual path as a star seed, connecting with the ET beings. Even though many of you say you're ready for it, if it actually happened that someone popped into your house at this moment, it might frighten you, you might scream, you might lunge for their throat or run away. Even if though you think, I'm spiritual and I can handle it, when the reality of it hits, it might be too frightening. So this is why it hasn't happened already, and why many of you haven't received what you thought you would receive. Don't worry. Don't panic. It is coming, but it's going to be a slow and gradual shift. You will feel them. You will connect with them on a heart level. You'll feel their energy around you, and you will see their light ships in the sky. If you're not a starseed and you are a human who is ascending, you might not ever see them if that's not where your focus should be. Some of you will work with the fae folk, the fairies. Some of you will work with the angelic realm. Some of you will work with animals in a higher vibratory state. Some of you will continue to work with other human beings, and some of you will work with nature and plants and growing high vibrational food. And that's another thing. Your requirements for food will change. You may get away from wanting animal flesh at this time. Once you've entered the fifth dimension, your physiognomy will be changing. Follow your gut instinct. Follow your cravings, and understand that it's not going to be the same as before when you had third dimensional physical cravings. Much different. than fifth dimensional physical cravings. In fact, the cravings won't be much of craving at all. It'll be more of an insistence upon an energetic match to the vibration you seek. And the vibration might be a shape or a color. You're going to start to feel that there is a energetic signature to every fruit and vegetable that you come in contact with. Things are going to change in a way that you're not anticipating. What we recommend is when you see food in a food market, whether it's an outdoor market or a grocery store or anything in between, farmer's market, or even in someone's vegetable garden, even if it's a fruit orchard and you're walking up to the plant, the trees or the bushes, feel the energy through your feet if you're in an orchard or a garden. Ask the plants that align with your energy the most to call forth your energy to their energy. Link with them. Your feet will become electric, and we see this as a light electric blue energy or a white energy. Or for some of you, it might be feeling like a silver streak. And wherever your feet are meant to go, they will go if you just allow it and have a conscious awareness. And you'll go right to the food that is the best for you. And when you touch it, you might feel a spark. You might feel an energy. That's the energy of love. And being in a consistent vibration of what you need and what it needs in order to contain the element of communion and unity. When you find yourself in a market where the food is already picked or plucked from the ground or the tree, we ask that you feel the energy through your hands. Hold your hands up around on either side of a piece of fruit, and you're going to feel a repulsion if it is not for you. You will feel an attraction if it is for you. Become very, very aware and sensitive of the chakras in your hands. This is why they're there. This way you will know what food is good for you. Don't read it in a book. Don't look at it online. Don't look on YouTube to see if a specific apple is good for you. Go to the apple itself and put your hands near it. You will feel an energetic match. If that apple is meant to be eaten by you and your energy signatures match, it will increase your vibration. To come into contact with it, to be near it, will increase your vibration. When you touch it, will increase your vibration. When you consume it into your body, will increase your vibration. You might hear a ringing in the ears more. You might be able to see higher vibrational colors more. Things will look brighter. Your eyesight will get better. Your heart will open wider when you consume the fruit and the vegetables that are meant for you. Don't just pick a vegetable you've always eaten because you think it's healthy. We're asking you to consciously choose your food with your hands, with the vibrational energy in your hands, or your feet if you are at the source and the food has not been severed from its original plant host. When you drink water, be consciously aware of the beings attached to the water. Allow it to breathe, allow the air elements to be with your water for a while. When you pour water into a glass, know that that's earth and water and air combining. When your kundalini rises, that's your fire. Be aware of all the elements and all the energies around you in every possible way at this time. It will help to increase your understanding of the universe. It will help you increase your awareness of self. It will help you to have more compassion and love for others. We know that we don't at this time have to tell you to treat animals as if they are your best friends and consciously aware, because many of you already are doing that. So we would like instead to applaud you and thank you for recognizing the God in all life, behaving as if all life matters, because it does. If you are still craving the lower vibrational food, we do not wish to is it comment? Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't quite hear that word. We do not wish at this time to comment in a way that will make you feel bad about yourself if you are still wanting to have a steak or a chicken or meat or fish. We want you to follow the energetic pathway for you that is correct for you. Some of you will still want to have a steak once in a while. Some of you will want bacon or a tuna sandwich. That's okay. But we just ask that you consciously make a decision through the use of higher vibrational energetics. And see where that takes you. See where it leads you. You will grow by leaps and bounds spiritually. At this point, if you always go towards the highest vibration in your food. So when you're choosing your food, just be aware of the energy. Meditate before you shop. Meditate before you go out. Take deep breaths in the open air. Be in the sunshine for 1 minute. Allow the light to come into you. Even if you're inside, allow the platinum light that we are beaming at you right now to surround your being, to permeate your aura, your chakra centers. Allow it to be in every direction, 30 feet in every direction, below your feet, above your head, in every direction. And then increase it to 100 feet and then 300 feet. You may use meters if that's more comfortable for you. Eventually turn that into miles or kilometers. Eventually turn it into how many planets away you want your aura to extend. Eating the food that is the highest vibration will bring you into higher alignment and ever increasing vibration. Eventually you will find yourself in the sacred space of the Ascended Masters. Some of you will go to the 7th and 9th. Some of you eventually in time will go to the 11th dimensions. You will keep increasing your vibration. Some of your food at this point will actually be the energy we're sending you. Don't call yourself a breatharian. Don't stop eating. We ask you to be consciously aware of all things at this time and to feed the body still, but also feed it with the light we send and beam to you. Through your heart chakra, you can breathe in all the elements around you from nature. Allow the nature to feed you. Allow our high vibrational beings, our light vibration, the platinum and the rose gold for some of you, you'll connect with that energy. Pale blue will be an energy many of you connect with. Turquoise and lime green for some of you, depending on what you need. Some of you the rainbow colors, some of you white, pure white light, and some of you the platinum. All of you the platinum, in fact, energy. And as you meditate, open your heart and pull that in through your heart. Allow it to permeate your physical body, because this is another form of food. This is an energy source for you, in addition to food. If you're called upon, if your body calls you to, hey, eat more vegetables, more fruit, do it. If you are feeling the need to eat something that you have never had, but you feel attracted to it, try it. Because maybe that is the key element you need for that day or in that moment to increase your vibration, your awareness, and to ride the sea of space. We say that we want you to have an image of surfing on the wind. It's what it's going to feel like to be in the fifth dimension. You will literally have the feeling and energy of rising above. Rising above the body, all your petty differences from the past, rising above arguments or noise, mental chatter of the monkey mind. You are rising above all of that. You are surfing the sea of space. You are riding the waves of the wind. Imagine that you are floating upon the flower of your choice. That is a lovely image for many of you. You may come up with your own, because you always have free will and free choice. We love you with all our hearts. We wish you the greatest success in all of your endeavors, whether they be physical or spiritual or mental. We want you to know that you are our children. We are your parents and we love you. We don't want you to have associations to parents that did not treat you well in the situation that you may or may not be in at this moment. We only want to let you know that we are the parents that have that perfect love for you that we hold sacred and dear. We hold you near to our hearts. You are always in our minds. This is why you exist. We wish for you to attain a perfect love as well, so we shall always support you. We're always here for you. And we always love you. We are the prime creators of the universe, and we sustain you with our thoughts, with our breath, with our love. You are a part of the heart that beats within our energetic chest, if you want to think of it that way. We hold you in the palm of our hands. Some of you like that image. We surround you with angels and helpers and high vibrational beings of the light, ascended masters. Help is all around you, so when you need help while you are ascending, if you meet someone who is not awake, ask for help to be sent to them. In every way, in every day, we love you. We love you. We love you. And that is the end of the transmission, guys. All right, well, there you go. I love you guys too. I love you so much. Thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing, favoriting, telling all your Facebook groups and Instagram people about the show. Let's grow the show so that we could grow ourselves and each other, and we come together as hashtag Soul Tribe, hashtag Soul Family. I don't know about you, but my ear, especially my left ear, has been ringing like crazy this whole time. It's like the sound of 1,000 fairies. Like Tinkerbells, like little bells. It's such a high vibrational, and it's like thousands of them. The tinnitus is very strange. It's like sonic glitter. That's how I'm experiencing it right now. It's very odd, but I feel like I'm floating right now. I feel incredible. I feel warm from the energy pouring in. It's just pouring in. It's like a nice warm shower of electricity or energy. I hope you guys feel it too. All right, I hope you enjoyed this transmission. I love you guys very much, and I'll be back tomorrow with all unique and original programming, just like always. But for now, I'm signing off with peace and joy and the high vibes of the Holy Fifth Dimension. Till next time, guys. Peace. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.